Hello right out there, what's up, Dude Rock 18 here. And if you see the video title, it is titled the TGMG Crew Interview, where I'm gonna be interviewing not one, but multiple people in the TGMG crew. And this is actually the first video that I'm interviewing more than one person, so this is gonna be really awesome. And I'm gonna start off with the leader of the group, the Gaming Master Guys. His real name is John. And I want to just ask you this question. So, with a big and long name of the Game Master Guys you have, which does have a catchy ring to it, by the way, how did you come up with that name? To make it fit that name? Like, how did you come up with that?
So you know Dude Rock 18, right?
Right.
It's just like the same story. No, I'm kidding. That's not the same story.
Oh, well.
I'd be surprised. I'm kidding. But, no, so... Okay, so... Now, I assume you're 18 when you made your YouTube channel. Yeah, because there's 18 on it. I know my username doesn't have names on it, but... Not names. Numbers, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So the Gaming Master Guys. So the first thing I came up with, I had a bunch of original usernames initially before making the Gaming Master Guys. I did have a YouTube channel prior to it, but it's deleted. It only lasted like a couple months because it didn't really get a lot of views, or it was just... I don't know, it was just really dead, and I was like, I don't really want to do YouTube anymore, but then I changed my mind like a day later. It was called, okay, so I had numerous inspirations from many YouTubers. One of them was the Runaway Guys, so maybe the guys part of that username was probably taken, and, well, and then, there was also another YouTube channel called the Super Gaming Brothers. They used to do YouTube as well. I mean, they don't longer do it anymore since they've all grown up and doing their own thing and focus on their individual channels.
Right.
Mainly for some Call Me Johnny. But yeah. And like before the Super Game Brothers, they were called SGB Likes to Play. So I kind of took that username inspiration and called it the Gamers Likes to Play. That used to be my YouTube channel username. You can't look it up anymore because it's gone, obviously.
Right.
But... with that around, a couple months later, actually, after I was taken down, I made the Gaming Master Guys only because one of my earliest, I guess, YouTube friends, I'm not going to say YouTube friends, but the YouTube people I met as acquaintances, I don't know, they did similar content as what me and my friends did, and this channel was intended to be more so like a multiplayer group channel in some way with me and my local friends. I don't really talk to half of them anymore. I mean, we just don't. I don't think there was no beef or anything. We just stopped talking randomly. Right. And how I made the Game Master Guys, like, okay, so I was like 13 at the time. I was in 8th grade. I was like, you know what? Like, the thing is, like, around my cousins and around my friends, you could say I was like really good at video games. Around them. Like, I could beat a lot of people in a video game. This was before I realized how big the world is, and there are, like, more experienced players than I was. And I had a big ego. I was like, you know what? I'm going to call myself the Gaming Master. And then, I don't know how I came with the Gaming Master Guys. I originally wanted to call my channel the Gaming Master Dudes, the Gaming Master Brothers, the Gaming Champions, something like that. And I was like, you know what? I guess the Gaming Master Guys works.
And it did work after being on for a number of years.
Well, yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago, I initially wanted to change the username to something else, but many people have persuaded me not to change it, so I'm actually glad that I kept it that way, because it's iconic and many people acknowledge it for what it is today, and even some people, I think Tom actually, he started the idea of wanting to call it TGMG. Like, I never really gave it initials at first, I just called it like the full name, but he called it TGMG for short. And then, I don't know, it kind of became the norm, and I got used to it. And I was like, you know what, I think this is a good way to do it. And then, eventually, I ended up making a logo based off around it, just to fit in their profile picture, and whatnot. And I got used to it. I used to cringe at it when I was like in high school, but then as I'm older now, it's like, I mean, it's almost been a decade at this point, so I might as well keep it, because everyone recognizes the Game Master Guys for what it is today. So, yeah.
Yes. Alright, so next question. What would be your favorite video game of all time? And why?
Oh man, that's actually very difficult. Favorite video game of all time. Honestly, it is... I don't know if you can describe a favorite video game. Like, there's favorites, but number one favorite, like, it has to be based on what I replayed. Okay. It always changes, but maybe this. One thing I could really say, possibly, I think I'm confident to say this, but I believe New Super Mario Bros. Wii is possibly my all-time favorite. There's a much personal backstory to the reason why I hold so much up to that game. Like, in a way, like, when the game was first announced, I was really excited for it. It was revolutionary, 4-player mechanic. You know, Mario on the console after Super Mario World, like, it was like 15 years later, I think, ever since 2D Mario's on consoles.
Right.
And then, you know, back then, in the NES Mario games with multiplayer, you don't have to take turns for Mario and Luigi, but now you can play as both of them at the same time without needing to take turns. And, you know, just with all that, and I don't know, the game was really fun, had a bunch of replay value, and it's something I never get tired of playing. And especially when I was in 5th grade or whatever, like, I revolved many things around that game. Like, I don't know, I took inspirations in some way. I know it's pretty vague, but, like, I don't know, I guess, like, with New Super Mario Bros. Wii's release, it kind of changed my life in a good way, because it kind of just brought up so many opportunities for my creativity, because the creativity in that game kind of inspired me to be more creative with my, I don't know, at least with my talents and abilities, you could say. I know it's very vague, but I don't know, if you're in my mindset, it would make sense, but I don't want to make this interview too long, so I guess I can just be vague as that. But I guess my YouTube channel takes some inspiration from New Super Mario Bros. Wii in some way. At least in terms of the fun, the chaos, and I guess the gimmicks, I don't know.
And speaking of the word inspired, that actually leads to my next question of who inspired you to make the YouTube account? Unless you've already
I did kind of answer it, but I mean, there's more than that. Like, yes, I mean, you got the Runaway Guys, the Super Game Brothers, but also a bit of it was Smosh Games. That was a bit back when they were good, honestly. Back like when they did videos in 2013 through 2014, I guess, or at least no, 2012 through 2014. I think to me that was like their peak. Right. I really liked their content; it was entertaining. We Like to Pray was also a inspiration as well. They were like a 4-player channel. They're not active anymore since the group split up, and they don't really do as much videos anymore. And then, yeah, it was mainly those channels, but then also not just that. That's just you said when you created it, right?
Well, yeah, like who inspired you to make the account?
Yeah, the account. Okay.
But yeah, you kind of answered that already.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question, any future projects you are working on that you would like to talk about, just briefly, if you want to?
Oh, yeah, so yeah, so for my next future projects, obviously you got the TGMG Stadium videos, they are a priority. Depending on when you upload this or whatever, not sure if it'll be up by then or not, but on, I believe, July 23rd, now that I said that, now it has to be on July 23rd. I'll be doing the first ever TheGamingMasterGuys Direct. If you guys know Nintendo Directs, it's kind of like that, but with TGMG. It will feature some members who've done their own passion projects for whatever they're doing. We've been working on that. I know people are trying to get their trailers ready and such for their own personal projects, and then I'll be advertising TGMG Stadium. I'll be showing previews of what the vlogs will look like and all that. And then also I'll be uploading other content, such as, let's see, like Super Mario 64 multiplayer. That's gonna be, we did a 7-player run of the game actually. That's gonna be up. It's gonna be a 6-player split screen, so it'll be interesting and fun. At some point I'll be doing Minecraft, and then some other projects. I have New Super Mario Bros. Wii in my mind, but I will see. But as for now, I just want to at least keep things a surprise. I think the TGMG Direct is more of a big surprise. It'll feature a lot more reveals on that video for my stuff and the other members of stuff, and along with people who are participating in the meetup, the TGMG Stadium New York event. So, yeah, it'll be an exciting time.
Alright, well, I just want to thank you for coming for this interview and being a great leader and supportive of your team, as well as answering these questions.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Really awesome. And thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah, thanks for interviewing, Mike. It means a lot.
And next up, for the TGMG crew, I have JayJugular. His real name is Jeremy.
Hi.
Yep. And it's great to have you here for this interview. So, So my first question I want to ask to you is, and I gotta ask, how did you come up with the name JayJugular?
Well, okay. So I've known you for about some time, right? I've known you for about, ever since I was probably in 9th grade. In 9th grade, I had a previous name that some people joke about. I've had a lot of usernames throughout the years, right? I started as XNAB11. That's probably how you know me from like your Mario Kart retunes back in the day. I would constantly change my name because I didn't do YouTube, but the name didn't fit. For every name I thought of, I'll probably have a name probably no longer than 6 months at a time. And XNAB11 came from Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong is like one of my favorite series, and the game DK Jungle Climber on the DS had XNAB, which was one of the main, or one of the characters needed to help out Donkey Kong's quest. I was like, I could use this. Yeah. Forget it, right? But because nobody really just knew how to pronounce that name, XNAB or Xananab, whatever, I was like, I need to change my name. I just kept changing it. Names before JayJugular was Majin the Creator. I used Air Force, something related to my career, which is me being in the Air Force with the YouTube thing, just being a side gig hobby sort of thing. And eventually I was like, I need to think of a name that fits. My first name starts with a J. My family has called me Jay before. Like my aunt, one of my close aunts in my family calls me Jay. Jugular is something that it just sticks. I wasn't really just trying to be creative with my name at all. I was just like, okay.
So it was just something that just came to mind?
It came off the dome, like, honestly. It just sounds good now. Because after a while, like, a username will fit. I didn't want it to be any numbers, because anything with numbers in it, in my opinion, like, those type of channel usernames are better back then, because, you know, whatever, sometimes you get YouTube names, and they'll prompt you and say, hey, why don't you have this with a number? And I was like, I don't want that.
I mean, they did that for me, actually. I was forced to put a number.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't want to be JayJugular22, and I'm like the 22nd JayJugular out there. It's like, my number will mean something, like, oh, JayJugular17. And it's like, well, that's the year I graduated, but is that going to matter to me later on in the future? Like,
I mean, that all depends on, you know, how you saw her with the numbers.
Right, like how big the number is to you or whatever. But JayJugular came from just the top of the dome. I wanted something to stick, and I promised myself, because I always would change my name because I just didn't like how it sounded. I just wanted it to be a name that would just stick. So one day when I do pop off, it's like, okay, this name, JayJugular. Okay, this is something. Versus like JayJugular Dark Dragon, whatever, like something weird.
I mean, yeah, the name definitely does stick, and and it's actually a creative thought as well.
Thank
so
you.
You were speaking about Donkey Kong. I just want to know, like, what do you like about Donkey Kong?
Oh man, okay, well, Donkey Kong Country, right? So whenever I was a kid, me and my dad is the one who got me into video games. My dad's pieces. One of the consoles we had growing up was the Super Nintendo. Now, we had the Super Nintendo, we had a GameCube, we had a bunch of just stuff that was like my family on my dad's side's consoles. So my dad would play Donkey Kong Country, and we had Donkey Kong Country 1, the cartridge, and we had 2. I didn't play 3 yet until I got my Wii and I discovered what Virtual Console was. But it was something about Donkey Kong Country when I played. It was the colors, it was the graphics, and this was like 2005, 6 when I was a child and I was getting used to actually holding control in my hand, seeing like the graphics, the sounds, the nostalgia in it, and it's just the magic Donkey Kong Country has. I can't really go too much into other than that. The game is amazing. And because of Donkey Kong Country, it was that made me get into the entirety of the franchise. Granted, after, I want to say, the 64 era, Donkey Kong kind of went all over the place.
Yeah, Donkey Kong was like popular, like getting there.
Yeah, he was popular already based off those games. Rareware did a great job with him, and despite the fact my dad actually enjoyed the arcade classic Donkey Kong Country game, so he enjoyed Donkey Kong Arcade, Donkey Kong Jr. He loved those games to pieces, and him playing Donkey Kong Country, it was just something I guess my uncle got him into. So if it hadn't been for that, I probably wouldn't really be a fanatic of Donkey Kong or just the Donkey Kong Country franchise. But because of that, Donkey Kong is one of my favorite video game characters.
And just hearing that backstory, that actually, like, I could feel the emotion of how your love for Donkey Kong was because of your dad, and that really it speaks out to me, actually, just to hear that. And it's really a thoughtful thing of how you like the video game character because of a certain someone, and that's really something that really
hits
home, definitely. I mean, with my dad, may he rest in peace, but you know. So my next question is, you do streaming at times. What do you like about streaming?
I think the thing with streaming is I can really just say anything off the top of my head and just go off on a beaten path. Versus a recording, you know, whenever you do a recording, right, you kind of have to talk about the game. Right. You kind of have to talk about the game, what you're doing. You kind of have to direct the commentary towards the game. In a stream, really the whole purpose of a stream is you're just watching me. You know what I'm saying?
And you just go all out whatever you want.
You're watching me be myself and play a game, and I'm in a hoodie. You don't know really if I'm wearing gym shorts or boxers. You don't really know what I'm wearing underneath the top surface. You know what I'm saying?
We don't need to know. We don't have to go into
No, we'll just safely assume I'm always wearing pants, you know. But I think the big thing about streaming is you can just be yourself. You know, I always go into streaming. Before stream, I say I need a list of topics to talk about. And I'll hit wheel to side, I'll just go, and whatever topic pops up, I just say it. And I can do that because I can just say whatever I want to on the stream.
Right.
Versus a recording, I have to direct what I have to say towards the game, if I'm recording a game, per se.
Okay. And my final question is there anything else you are working on or planning future projects for your YouTube channel?
So you're asking for spoilers. Okay.
I'm trying not to ask for spoilers. Like, is there anything that you want to talk about that you're planning without giving spoilers? If that's how.
So I can give you 3 is my favorite number. So I'll give you that little bit of extra information. I'll give you 3 things. Currently, at the time of this interview right now, this is the TGMG Stadium. So a couple of things I am planning. I am currently doing a live Nintendo DS content. Leave it at that. DS content is very rare. That's recorded nowadays is a very rare oddity, so I have a lot of Nintendo DS games on the forefront that I'll be uploading once the trip is over. As far as streaming, I have a 10-hour stream that I'll be planning here soon.
Nice.
Just to kind of top the last 10-hour stream, or 10-hour, 12-hour stream that I did, just to get back to my roots of doing that. And as far as anything else, I'll say 2 is the magic number.
Okay, then.
Because everything else I kind of have written down, but I do have a lot of other collaborations and single-player content going to be uploaded soon with a couple members, TGMG, helping with that.
Yeah, well, that's a foreshadowing you have to check out for the his YouTube channel, JayJugular. And by the way, thank you so much for coming for this interview. It's really an honor to interview you as well as me interviewing the other people. But thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and everything of all these questions.
Of course, no problem.
Alright, and we have the next TGMG crew member of KD Night 12. His real name is Eli. Thank you so much for coming for this interview, actually.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So here's my first question. So, what do you like about making videos on your YouTube channel, KD Night 12?
I guess it's kind of just always been a little closet dream of mine to like do it. It's just like for the fun of it, kind of like you guys do, like you and Kevin, and probably the things I like the most are like when I play my favorite games like Banjo-Kazooie or like Mario Party or Smash Brothers, and just a kind of thing to do as like a little hobby to pass the time. And yeah, it's basically how it is.
All right. I know that you are a fan of Tekken.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. What Tekken video game would you choose as your favorite, and why?
It's so tough, because my favorite Tekken's definitely come from the PS2 era, because there was like PS1, PS2, PS3, and now there's 7 on PS4, and yeah, it would probably be PS2, would be Tekken 4 or 5, like one or the other, because 4 is such a unique entry in the series. It's got like, it has the best story. It has the best story out of all like fighting game.
Yeah, because I played Tekken 4 and 5, and I've played some Tekken games, and they have like really great story. Absolutely, like I could definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, and like 4 is great in terms of like story and like the presentation of the stages. The stages in that are huge. They're like way different from any Tekken game before or even since. And there's like the whole sense of like realism with Tekken 4. It's like it really helps it stand out, and I think the story is just so good. And Tekken 5 is pretty much the same with it has a bit less of a story than 4. It still has a great story, but I would argue like maybe 4 is a bit better. But 5 has a better roster to it, and
absolutely
has a lot more content to work with. Like I love how you can you can like play the arcade versions of Tekken 1, 2, and 3 in that game. That's a lot of fun. And there's the extra mode, the Devil Within mode with Jin Kazama.
That's
like
pretty cool.
beat 'em up thing. Yeah, I like that too. And like maybe 5 maybe a slightly better gameplay than 4. I don't know. They're about the same. Like,
Yeah, so about the same of 4 and 5. So
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from with that. And my final question would be, any videos you have planned for the future, like projects or anything else? I mean, if you don't want to give away spoilers or anything.
No, I'll give it. I mean,
just anything you're working on for future videos and stuff.
it just all depends on like when I'm available, because I got I have like work to do at home and
I could relate.
yeah, and all that. And but I'll probably do more Smash Brothers stuff. I know I still like the time we're recording this. I'm in the middle of playing the Project MEX remix, where I'm just do what Kevin does, where he like tries out all his favorite characters and just go on exhibition with CPUs and stuff, and like maybe do more of that, like classic mode possibly. Like I want to go back to Smash Remix and Flash 2, well, especially Smash Remix. I feel like Smash Remix actually gets me the most views, like out of all the different Smash stuff that I do. Well,
because mods, you know, like it's more of a thing out there now, you know, with mods of who wasn't in the game but they are in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like interesting and a peak of interest for other people, and I could definitely say the views of that go really high.
I still
for
wanted
new characters.
Yeah, sorry. Still wanted to, like I did like a while back. I did like 2 tier list videos. Like I did my own little tier list thing. I thought that was like a lot of fun to do. I might redo that. One of those I did was like Saiyan transformations in Dragon Ball, like Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, and God and all that. I might redo that one, and like because I think my opinions have changed a bit. And also there's Vegeta's. I don't know if you care about spoilers in the Super manga. Yeah, there's Vegeta's Ultra Ego form, and I'm sure you've heard of that. Yeah, I gotta put that there. But like I want to do other tier lists too, like stuff on Banjo-Kazooie levels, or like maybe more Dragon Ball stuff, like villains or sagas and movies and stuff. And when Multiverses had its alpha test, I thought about doing a character tier list on that, like all my favorite characters from like the alpha test and stuff. Yeah. And or maybe I'll like save it for when the full game comes out and just like say my favorites. I mean, I know Tom and Jerry would be at the top, and like Bugs Bunny would probably be right behind them. Yeah. And I'll probably do Tekken stuff as well. Soul Calibur. I don't know what else besides tier lists and like it's cross that bridge when we get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming for this interview. It was really a pleasure interviewing you, and
it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you and the rest of them, like Kevin.
Yeah, I mean,
John
first time that I'm
Jerry,
seeing you guys. I mean, it's really an honor, and
I'm watching like I know I already told you this, but I watched you and Kevin the longest by far. Like I think it's been like 15 years at least.
I definitely appreciate the support and watching us for all these years, and it really means a lot to me. And and this interview that I'm doing right now means a whole lot as well, just to answer these questions.
Yeah. Go back in time and I tell my like child self, hey, you're gonna meet Mike and Kevin in 15 years. He'd probably be like,
what? But thank you for the interview and everything else.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up for the TGMG crew, we have NNBandicoot. His real name is Noah. Thank you so much for coming for this interview, and get ready for the questions. So my first question to you is, who inspired you to make a YouTube account?
Well, I think there's 3 people. You may be surprised. Let's go through the obvious ones. Kevin was one of them, his Crash Bash videos. You also did Crash Bash videos back in the day, so you were inspiration as well. There's another YouTube channel called Tiger King 10. You may have heard of him, may have not. But Yeah, he did a Crash Bash Let's Play that got me to like watch YouTube and really appreciate like Crash Bash because I really like that game. But it really was like Kevin and to you to an extent with Joey and some other people that you all hung out with that inspired me to steal my mom's laptop and record my own Crash Bash. And
well,
like
hopefully you didn't get in trouble doing that.
That was like years ago, like about almost 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
I'm here.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So is that all you want to say? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question: for videos you do, drunken Mario parties, who came up with that name and what is it about, basically? Even though I personally experienced it firsthand a few nights ago.
So Drunk Mario Party was inspired by. There's this YouTube channel called SGP Likes to Play, Super Gaming Brothers. They did Drunk Mario Party in 2014, and that inspired me to like, be like, yeah, that looks like a lot of fun, but I'm too young to drink at that point.
Right.
So in replacement, we did mystery drinks. We mixed a bunch of drinks, and yeah.
Interesting.
But once I turned 21, that's when the alcohol started, and thanks to Parsec, we were able to do Drunk Mario Party from now and then, and we did one recently here. And, yeah, Drunk Mario Party isn't a title I came up with, it's just a, this is Mario Party, but we're drinking sort of thing. It's a title that most people would use if they're doing something
So
like
basically
this.
you put one and one together and you have the title.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright. And my final question is, would you like to share any new upcoming projects for your channel?
So, the only...
If there's spoilers, that's up to you.
I will keep some things under wrap, but, so, during this trip, it's gonna be, I'm continuing my Mario Party Marathon, and I'm doing 9, even though I'm nowhere close to doing 9 yet, but like since we're in person and it's not exactly the best game to play on Parsec, so I do it now, maybe upload it later, sort of thing. When I get back, I'm gonna begin Mario Party 3.
Okay.
For my Race to Win series, there are gonna be some round 2s of races I've done in the past. We'll just say that. And also, there will be some round 2s for tier list debates. And I do have a big project coming up, but I'm going to keep that on the down low.
Yeah, alright. Alright then, well, so that's all the questions. So thank you so much for coming for this interview, and it's a pleasure and honor to interview you as well as the other members of the TGMG crew, and yeah, just thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Next up for the interview is TheMKninja. His real name is Shaun. Thank you so much for coming for this interview, and it's great to have you here.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yes. All right. So my first question I want to ask you is this: you're an anime fan from what I see on your YouTube channel. When did you start watching anime?
So, do you ever remember like Tomnooki and such like that, Cartoon Network?
With Dragon Ball Z, Naruto.
That was definitely a big one that really like influenced. Cause back when I was a kid and I was still in Mass, and we had a big home. I would always, whenever I couldn't sleep, I would like go downstairs in the basement because that's where our TV was, and I'd turn on, and there could be like Adult Swim or Tomnooki. Sometimes it'd be shows like Family Guy, but I remember like Inuyasha. I remember Bleach. There was Naruto as well. I watched that a lot. I had very vivid memories of seeing that at my old aunt's house. I remember the Zabuza arc too.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like into anime at that point. Like it was more like a thing that I just kind of checked out every now and then. And then when I moved, there was a channel Funimation had on DirecTV, and that helped too. And just going through college and high school and being exposed to more and more stuff through people that I knew, as well as like the internet becoming more of a thing, that just really projected my like taste in anime, as well as seeing my favorite show, and it just kind of sprung out into being, this is what I like. So it was really big, when I was growing up too. Like, the 90s and 2000s when Toonami and such like that, things were getting dubbed and ported over more because more accessibility was available.
Yeah.
So That's one of the big factors.
Yeah, so speaking of favorite shows, one of your favorite shows I'm thinking was or is Gurren Lagann?
Gurren Lagann, yes.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann. Tell me, what do you like about that show?
So, my connection with that show is actually very personal.
Oh, well, you don't have to get personal.
No, it's fine. A lot of time has passed, so like, you know, sometimes you can like have more comfortability with this kind of stuff. So, back when I saw it, it was high school, and I want to say I was a quiet kid, but the big thing about it was I wasn't putting myself out enough. Sometimes, like, I would have, like, social anxieties about certain things. I had just moved to Florida, too, from Massachusetts, so it was this really big change. Then high school, that's another big change, and it was, like, really overwhelming. And I found one of the characters while doing some image searching, and I thought they had a really cool design, and I'm like, I want to check out this show. And I just started going through it. And one of the things that really connected with me is the character in the show, Kamina, who is very much like a very inspirational character. He pushes the main character Simon to do his best. He has a lot of quotable lines, and the way he said things and the ways that I kind of related to that main character almost felt like it was going to me. So like, I felt like I can do better. The show is showing the character can do better, and I'm like, that could be me. And that's like a big thing when people like a lot of, like, you connect with shows and characters because you feel relatability to them.
Yeah.
Along with, I really like the animation. It's very bombastic. I wasn't much of a big mecha fan, like, you know, like the robots like shooting and such. Yeah. But it was, it's hard to explain otherwise, but I just kind of fell in love, and I just continue to watch it, and it's almost been like a yearly tradition for me. So.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's amazing how this anime show has done something, you know, for your life and, you know, moving forward and in general. And it just amazes me to hear that, even when other people tell me about their favorite shows. Like, it just, you know, it's very emotional, you know, and it's, you know, it's a really great message for people out there who want to get into anime and stuff.
I think one thing that also really helps like me connect to it is, it wasn't so much in high school, but in college, I felt like depression started to come in a bit more. Like, you know, just you doubt yourself more. That was really big for me too. So that show, as well as like a lot of other anime, and connecting with, you know, people I was with and seeing there are other people like me, really helped show there is something I can do and there is worth to what I have. So people like, you know, they say, one thing that always irks me is like, how can you cry or connect to a show, but you connect to characters that you feel you can be, and they teach you things, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, I love art, and it's something that should never be underestimated.
Alright, my final question to you is, are there any future video ideas you have for your YouTube channel? I mean, you don't have to give away spoilers if you don't want to, but to just tell our viewers, do you have any future video ideas so that way when they come to your channel, they'll see what you're talking about and stuff?
So the big thing that I thought of was, a while ago I did a podcast about anime, and I actually got a rather big animator, Dakamachi, on. And the format of it didn't really work out all that well, and it's over time I just kind of lost interest. So I want to bring something like that back. Right. And I'm trying to get a few other people in right now. I actually talked to Allie, and she wants to join in that too.
Oh,
and
right?
Yeah, and I was actually thinking of asking Jeremy in that too, because I actually recommended Gurren Lagann to him, and I'm like, I could probably bring him into that too if I'm being honest.
I think Jeremy too would be a great addition.
So I wanna make it much more of like a casual kind of, let's talk about what's going on and stuff like that. You know, maybe news, just a way to hang out. Nothing like stressful and such. And does it have to be YouTube projects or any project?
Yeah. Well, all right, well, I wish you lots of luck on that, and thank you so much for taking the time to be in this interview. It's an honor, you know, to talk with you as well as the other guys, and to do this interview, because, you know, it really means a lot to me just seeing you guys for the first time. And I haven't said this for every interview, but I just want you to know how much this means to me, of just seeing you guys and doing an interview and getting to know you a little bit better as well, instead of just on the computer and all that.
Being disembodied voice.
But thank you so much for coming on and being in this interview.
Yeah, my pleasure.
The next TGMG crew that I'm going to be interviewing is Tomnooki. His real name is Tom. Thank you so much for coming for this interview.
Sure thing.
Alright, so my first question to you is this. What got you into making your YouTube channel?
I watched a lot of Let's Players, Chuck Conroy. Tomnooki was one of them. And what's the last one? Thomas J. Ashwell was the last one. I think the only one around still is Thomas J. Ashwell and Chuck Conroy. The last two. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. What's your favorite anime of all time and why? Because I heard you're an anime fan.
Yes.
So, like, what's your favorite of all time and why?
Probably One Piece. It's very long, but it's consistently good and doesn't get worse than around, I'd say, a 7 out of 10. What I gotta say about it, that's pretty much it.
Okay. And my final question to you is, do you have any ideas for future videos? I mean, if you have spoilers, you don't have to tell what they are. Like, is there any like future videos that you have in mind so when people come to your YouTube channel, they'll know what to expect?
Not particularly. I haven't made a video in about a few months now, but I do plan on making more videos soon, with new anime season coming soon. So stay tuned for that, I guess I should say.
Yeah, and then definitely they'll come to your YouTube channel and they'll see that.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all the questions I have for you. So thank you so much for coming for this interview.
Sure.
And I've said this to others, it's really an honor meeting all of you guys because like I've known you guys throughout the years and just seeing in person is something really awesome to me as well as just instead of talking on the computer because computer and person are two different things, and
very different.
It's just really I'm really glad to see you as well as having you here with the TGMG crew and just doing your thing on YouTube, as well as being a supporter of my YouTube channel as well, because all of you here are supporter of my YouTube channel.
Of course,
and just thanks for everything, and thanks for this interview.
You're very welcome.
The next TGMG crew member that I'm going to be interviewing is Jackuwarz66. Her real name is Lily.
Hello. It's really a pleasure to be here.
And it's an honor for me to interview you, actually. So my first question is this. So Jackuwarz66 is your YouTube name. I mean, we've already established that.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that name and the number 66?
Not much to be said. But in terms of the name itself, actually, when I first made the account, it wasn't supposed to be like my finalized name. It was actually meant to be like a placeholder, because I couldn't really come up with a name yet when I made the account. But back in the day, there was this somewhat of a minor trend where some people will have like very similar usernames, but just have like numbers at the end of different numbers at the end of it. 66 was just a random number.
So it just like came up to you in your head, right?
Yeah. And also I guess like it after a few years doing YouTube, I just still could not come up with a name, and so Jackuwarz66 was just it stuck. For those who want to know, the name that I got it from was from another YouTuber called Jackuwarz220. He was someone that used to do like Smash Machinima videos, which was, by the way, was really popular back then.
I remember watching those.
Oh yeah, I remember stuff like Smash Tasm, Not Actually Royalty, or Wolf's Retarded Mission. That's a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those were really popular back in the day. But I stuck with Jackuwarz66, and I felt like people just got used to it by that point. So yeah.
Absolutely, and that's an interesting backstory of your YouTube name. So my next question is, what do you love about making videos on your YouTube channel?
I guess sometimes like maybe like experimenting like different games that I've never tried before, but also playing through a game that I've used to play a long time ago, or a game I've known for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean those are the great days with video games.
Yeah. And the idea of just documenting myself, my experiences, and just so that one day I look back on what my old videos and see like my reactions and whatnot, and hopefully maybe people might be entertained. Whatever, if I got a really great moment or parts where I got pissed or what
I mean, we all are humans and we have feelings and thoughts and stuff. So I mean, that's what makes us human.
Yeah.
And anything else you wanted to add, or was that it?
That's it.
All right. So my next question is, who inspired you to make the YouTube account? Like anybody you know that inspired you to do these?
So back in the day, I guess like some people have recorded videos through like maybe from old capture cards, maybe like a Dazzle, which I didn't know about till years later. And obviously this was before Elgato existed, I think. And but a lot of times there's some people that will record with a camcorder facing the TV, and
yep, I'm one of them.
Yeah, same here actually. For I think like a little over 8 years, I've used a camcorder.
Yeah, well, it was like a digital camera that used to show, and I used to have like either video games stacked, and this was like before the tripod, and then I have stacks of video games, just camera on TV, and me in the back commentating. But continue. Or
in my case, like shoe boxes or books. But one of the individuals that did inspire me to just start it, despite not necessarily having equipment for high quality videos yet, was your best friend, was Shadow Wolf 000.
Yeah, I mean, he is a big, huge inspiration. So, Kevin, if you're watching this, you got a #1 fan over here.
Yes. I remember watching a ton of his videos, and then eventually I got to watch yours and your brother Chris and yeah.
We were a bunch of crazy nutsos back then. And sometimes I can be with video games, so but it's all for entertainment. But thank you for saying that was inspiration to you. That makes me feel happy. And I hope you're not saying that because I'm here. No, I'm just kidding. Continue. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I think that's pretty much it for that one too.
Okay, so a lot of inspiration. Very awesome. And my last and final question is there anything you are or will be working on in your videos? And if you have spoilers, you don't have to give spoilers, but if you want to, I leave that totally up to you and optional. But
I mean, I won't fully spoil it completely, but I do have some videos that I may plan to do. I do have like 2 big projects that I plan to do. But that won't necessarily be showcased until, up until maybe when John finally does his direct.
Yeah, he did talk about that in the interview, in the first one I did. So it's alright if you talk about it.
Yeah, when he announced it, like at first I was like, how would I go about, what would be my section of the presentation, and I think I finally gotten like some ideas. So I'm currently technically working on how I can go about it, and yeah, pretty much it.
All right, and from after all that, they'll definitely want to go check out your YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah.
All right, well that's all the questions. So thank you so much for coming for this interview. It was really a pleasure to interview you, and as well as meeting with the TGMG crew. I mean, I've said this to everyone almost. It's just really awesome how over the years you got to watch, like you said, like you watch my channel, Kevin's channel, that you actually see us in person, and you're actually in the same state as me and Kevin in Brooklyn, New York. So, woohoo, Brooklyn Nitrous right here. Let's go.
Believe it or not, when I first saw you guys, I think I legit thought, and this is gonna sound weird, I legit thought that you guys were from California, but then this was until like maybe
California.
Yeah.
I mean, because you thought the dude waves and all that. Yeah.
And like the ocean, in the ocean, and sometimes
all New York, all day, every day, born and raised. But yeah.
Same here, born and raised.
So but thank you for coming for this interview.
Mm-hmm.
Here is another member of the TGMG crew. This is Jackuwarz. His real name is Jack. Thank you so much for coming for this interview, and it's really an honor to interview you, and because I've interviewed so many people already, so this is really awesome that I got to interview you next. Yes. So my first question to you is, how did you come up with the YouTube name Jackuwarz?
Ooh, so you want my username out? Sure, this is a good one. So it started in around 2014. It was in my senior year of high school. I was in a PE class. We were making fun of the Jacksonville Jaguars at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They were notoriously bad at football. We would make fun of the records that they had at the time. They were like 1-9 or something.
Oh wow!
Really bad, be like that. And then one of my classmates there had the brilliant idea to just combine Jack and Jaguars, and then they came up with Jackuwarz. So I really like that name. It took until 2017, late 2017, and then towards the end of 2018 was when I finally went to moving from Nintendo 14 to Jackuwarz officially. So you can thank one of my PE classmates for giving me that
it's
name.
a funny but cool backstory for that YouTube
Yeah.
name, so awesome. Next question is, what's your favorite thing you like about making videos on YouTube?
Making videos, I would say just getting finished and having it upload and seeing the feedback, that's the big payoff of making it. The planning part of it as well, that's also another fun thing as well.
Yep.
And I would say recording it's straightforward, but the idea and seeing the feedback, especially if it's like a brand new idea, and if the feedback really enjoys it, that's what I enjoy most about making videos.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to it?
No, we're good.
Okay. My next question is, out of all the playthroughs you have done on your channel, which video game was your favorite one of what you did on your playthrough? Like, which one would you say is your favorite one?
Ooh. So the Donkey Kong 64 one, that's by far the most successful one. I still get comments to that one to this day. But personally, looking back on it, the commentary is awfully dry. That goes for most of the videos. I would say the year of Mario Kart, the very last one I did, I put a lot of effort into it. The production value, I would say, was at its peak. So I want to say the year of Mario Kart, where I left my playthrough phase of my channel. I think that's where I would say is my favorite playthrough there, just because of the effort and the quality that I put it under.
Yeah, and it looks like you have a lot of history with that video game too.
Also need to get back to it. I have a 3DS capture card now, and I need to go back and do the Mario Kart 7 section. That's the one game I had to miss and then replace it with something else.
Well, power to you and great luck to you as well.
Yeah.
And my last and final question is, any future videos you want to tell our viewers about? If there's spoilers, you don't have to tell them. It's optional, but just telling them what they should expect on YouTube channel when they come to visit your YouTube channel.
A little bit of spoilers here, and I want to, when it's ready and finalized and I have something to show for it, I'm ready to reveal that. So I'm just about done making track building with Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. We actually have a track set up downstairs. So
it's really big and really awesome.
Oh yeah,
Trust me.
Thank you for that. And then I have one before that, so I'm going to work on uploading those two, getting those finished, and then after that, I want to get into, say, voice acting and story writing, and finally do something with that. Yoshi Tales 13, he's doing something really similar to that, and I want to throw my hat into the ring and storytelling.
Yeah, I mean that sounds really awesome doing all that.
It's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of planning, and I'm still in the planning phase with all of it.
As long as you have it planned and you know that it's going to do well and think it's going to do well, then it's going to do awesome. And I wish you lots of luck with all this. And that's all the questions. So thank you so much for coming for the interview. And I have to say, though, that it's really an honor to really meet all of you. And I've said this to everyone, and I really mean this because, I've been watching you over the years, and you've been watching us over the years with horn cars and outside. How dare you horn in the interview? But it's really an honor to meet you and just, in person rather than just on a computer, and it's just really awesome. And and it's great to, get to know you also with these questions. So thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, of course. Glad to be in this interview. This is fun. Fun.
And now we are at the last interview from the TGMG crew. This is TJ, which is your preferred nickname and YouTube name. And I just want to say, an honor to have you here, as I've had others for this interview.
Thank you. It's been great meeting you guys.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So let me start with the first question. What inspired you to make a YouTube account?
What inspired me was when I first started getting on YouTube around late 2000s, I'd say. YouTube was one of the first websites I really got into. Like, that would basically be my home page immediately when I logged into, and I would just scroll down and I would see likes and comments and dislikes when they had that back in the day, and the description on the right side of the video, and it was like, I kind of want to be a part of that too. So I made my account mostly to subscribe to people I like watching, commenting here and there, and eventually John and the rest of the crew, I saw them making their own videos, and I thought, why not post a few of my own? Yeah.
Okay. And next question, what are your goals when it comes to making YouTube videos?
I just want to make something entertaining, if not for a general audience, at least for my friends, something that I can go back and watch and have good memories with and be like, oh my god, that was such a funny moment that happened, or something like that. Mostly for memory's sake.
Yeah, because memories are always, good to look back on. I mean, usually with my videos, I always look back on memories too, and it's great.
Definitely.
And sometimes it can help you with videos too, like how you can, if you want to change things around and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, and my last and final question is, are there any new video products or anything else that you are working on? I mean, if there's spoilers, you don't have to tell them, but it's optional if you want there to be spoilers. So, like, for them to come to your YouTube account, since I have it linked in the description, like, is there anything that they're working on for them to come to your YouTube channel?
I typically don't upload much. It's more of a when I feel like it basis, but I did have a Rocket League video in the works that I kind of, put on the side. That'll probably come out eventually. Splatoon highlights. Now that I have a PS5, I can upload videos from there. Maybe get some fun, like Fortnite, Fall Guys compilations or whatever. So hopefully that'll come out eventually.
Alright then. Well, that's all the questions. So it was an honor to interview you, and thank you so much once again for coming. And I've said this to other people, like, it was really awesome meeting all of you guys, because
definitely,
I know you guys have been watching my YouTube channel, I've been watching your guys' YouTube channel, and it's just really awesome to see you guys in person rather than just on a computer. So it was really great to actually see you as well as everybody else, and and great to know you too with all these the interview questions as well.
Yeah, definitely. Back in 2013, I think it was when I first started joining your Mario Kart tournaments, and then
yeah, that's right. I remember.
2014 is when I first became a member of the group. So it's been a long time coming.
Long time.
Yeah.
So that'll be it for this one. So thank you again for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And that will be all for the TGMG crew interview of everyone who I have interviewed on my YouTube channel. And it is really awesome that I got to interview every single TGMG crew member. And it was awesome to get to know about them in person. And if you would like to go check out their YouTube channels of all that I've interviewed, their YouTube links will be in the description below. And please don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, which is DudeRock18. And when you click that subscribe button, don't also forget to hit that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified about videos that I upload on my YouTube channel, because with things like this, because this was like a really unexpected video for all of you to know that it wasn't just one interview, it was multiple amount of people, and it was really awesome that I got to do that for the first time on my YouTube channel. So if you click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, trust me, you are in for awesome content and everything else. And until next time, I'm DudeRock18 interviewing the TGMG crew interview, saying take care, and as always, don't forget to rock on. Later, everybody.